Hey, what's poppin'? Good morning. It's your boy Jay the Comedian. How are y'all doing today? I hope everybody's great. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling real good. Now today I wanted to talk to you guys about religions in general. Still, yes, the Jehovah Witnesses, because of course they're a religion but on crack, but they're still a religion. But I want to talk about all religions, every single one, and some of the tactics that they use and why they use them. Okay? All right, check it out. So, religions in general like to keep their members in a constant state of uncomfortableness. Why would they do that? Why? And I'll tell you why. It's not very hard to understand. Let's say you're in a relationship, right? You've been in a relationship for a long time. You start to get comfortable. You start to not do things that you used to do. You remember when you first started dating, how that was? How you was all lovey-dovey and everything was great? Because that wasn't your real personality. That wasn't you. That was your representative, okay? That was the person representing you. That's the person you put out to the world that you pretend is a normal, nice individual. The type of person that wouldn't clip their toenails and then sniff them and laugh. You know, you keep that part private. You keep that to yourself, and you put out this representative who can fit in with the rest of the world and not seem like a crazy person. The comfortable person that you're out to represent you, you know? Now, once you're with somebody, and you got that representative out there, eventually, you start to pull back the representative and you let your true self out. And this is usually where the relationship is tested the most. Because if they like you, even being yourself, then boom, the relationship works out. And if you like them while being themselves, then boom, the relationship works out. But if you don't like it and you don't accept it, the relationship falls apart. If they do some things that you just find just bad and just not your standard, the relationship falls apart. Or if you feel like you have to constantly be somebody that you're not in order for the relationship to work, the relationship falls apart. Except in religion. Because religion has a masterful way of telling you that you can't leave. Or there's a hard penalty if you do leave. You get burned alive forever in hell. Or Jehovah will destroy you in the great tribulation. There's always a harsh penalty for leaving. Oh, and not forget, like Jehovah Witnesses, they add an extra layer just to make sure it's nice and, hostagey, And we'll take your family and friends too, by the way. But why? Like, why do they need you in this constant position of uncomfortableness? Because if you're in a relationship and you're comfortable, like I said before, you're just not doing as much as you can. You're farting in front of them. Hey, babe. Oh, that stinks. But in a religion, what do you do when you get comfortable with your church, right? Let's say everything's going great. You're happy all the time. This religion is great. You start to take it for granted. You don't go to the meetings as much. You don't go to church as much. And when you're not at the church, you're not giving tithes. And if you're not at the meeting, you're not giving donations. And, pretty much taking it for granted. You show up when you feel like it or only when you did something really bad, Other than that, you go when you feel like it, which probably isn't too often because it's freaking church or the Kingdom Hall. It's just not something that people is like, oh, you know what I want to do? Go sit down and hear about God for the next couple hours instead of watching football or something else fun on a Sunday or whatever day you go, It's just not something that garners a lot of interest, usually, So as long as you're comfortable, they're not getting as much as they could. Just look at YouTube, for example, right? YouTube, Facebook, and everything else, all those other social media sites, they get paid for retention. However, for people that keep coming back, or for people that spend an extended amount of time on their platform, they get to see more ads, possibly click more ads, and make more money. They get more money. They get more from it the more people stay on. So they incentivize people to constantly stay on the site, to constantly not go anywhere, to constantly be on there and interact with the site so they can make more money. Same thing with religion. They incentivize you to always need to go to church, always be there, and always just have to be cleaned of your sins. And they do this in a very, very simple way. They take things that come naturally and make them sins. Like, yes, sleeping with somebody, that comes naturally. Your body kind of, you don't even have to do much. Your body knows what to do all on its own, purely off instincts. There's very few things in life that could go 100% off instinct. That's one of them. You know what I'm saying? And it's also a thing that you can technically go your entire life without doing. Technically. There's very few people in the world who can do it, which benefits religions. But the fact that it's doable means that's the perfect thing to vilify. Because it's something that everybody's going to do anyway. But the fact that people are going to do it, then boom, all right, now you've sinned. Look at you, you're sinning. You need to come back to church. You need to pay more tithes. You need to give us more money. We're not getting taxed. So yeah, there's a church if you turn around 3 times, jump to the side, you're running to a church. Like, there's so many of them, But, especially in the hood. Especially in low-income areas. That's how I know I'm in a bad neighborhood or not. I'm like, liquor store, church, liquor store, church, liquor store. Hey, this is a horrible neighborhood. That's how you know. In Chicago, if you see a lot of vacant lots, liquor stores, and churches, you are in a bad neighborhood. Get out of there. You may be shot. But yes, that's what they do. They vilify things to come natural. And the Jehovah Witnesses, they take it a step further. They vilify thoughts. They vilify thoughts. You could be sitting in your car, man, look at that booty. Oh no, I've sinned. Oh no, the flesh is weak and the heart is treacherous. That's what I'm saying, man. And they do it on purpose. Because as long as you feel like you're constantly sinning, and as long as you feel like you need God to get you out of this horrible place that you're in, to fix your life because your sinful ways are just too much to take, then they're constantly going to get money from you. And they're constantly going to take advantage of you. Can't say it any clearer than that. It's what if a crackhead came to you right now, right? And said, looky here, bro. If you give me $1,000 right now, when you die, I'll give you $2 million. That's religion, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what religion is. You're being promised something after you die. If that ain't the biggest hustle, how do you even get the Yelp reviews on that? You know what I'm saying? Can you go to Yelp? What do you get after you die? And then you get some ghost to get on there. Hey, I went to heaven. I got 73 virgins, and it was amazing, and best experience and choice ever. No, you wouldn't even trust a review on Yelp for life after death, because once you die, you can't leave a Yelp review. You can't research this. You can only go by what other living people done told you was gonna happen after you die. And how can you trust a living person to tell you what it's gonna be like after you die? Would you go to a person that's been a vegan all their life and which hamburger would you choose? A steak or a regular just beef hamburger? Why would you take anything they say seriously, right? You can't listen to people that's living tell you about what's gonna happen when you die. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying, it's the biggest hustle out. It's the biggest hustle out. It's kind of like car insurance, right? You got car insurance. You pay it every single month. Every single month. You miss one payment, you get in an accident, it's like you've never paid it a day in your life. They just took all your money. And even if you do continue to pay it, and you get in a car accident, they make you jump through so many hoops. Well, whose fault was the accident? Where did it come from? What are you drinking? Was there anything other? And you still have to pay a $500 deductible. You know what I'm saying? It's a hustle. Get it through your head, man. It's a hustle. I've been hustled a bunch of times. Crackhead sold me some gold one time, turned my neck turquoise. I've been hustled enough to know when I'm being hustled. When people promise you something in your afterlife and they've never experienced it themselves, that should be a red flag right there. And another thing that you should really, really consider is what you're giving up while waiting for that thing to happen, you know? Like if I were to tell you, hey, there's some money coming. I'm gonna give you some money. They're on their way right now. They'll probably be here in about another 20, 30 minutes. I can't really tell. It could be more. I don't know. But until they get here, if you want half of this money, I'm gonna need you to massage my feet and my back and, you know, make sure I get all these crooks out of my neck and do all that good stuff, you know? And then maybe even bang me later. I'm not sure. It just depends on how long they take to get here. Would you do it? You'd be like, man, you know, I could go for some of that money. All I got to do is rub them down. I think your common sense would tell you, nah, don't do that. He could be lying. He probably is lying, you know? And that's what you should go with. I don't know, man. You tell me, am I wrong or am I right? You let me know in the comments. I really want to know. And I'll be reading the comments, so yeah. And subscribe to the channel. Holla Chiguala. Deuces.